thank you for coming on the Left Brain, Right Brain podcast. It's an honor.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on or inviting me.
I know I watched all 5 episodes yesterday, and I watched them today again as well. I know Sophie's been
Hell
watching
yeah.
them too.
Oh, I fucking love them. They're so good.
It's
Thank
amazing.
you.
Like, are you producing it, making the animation, and you're also starring in it as well? Are you doing every
Yeah.
aspect of the show?
Yeah. I mean, I do most of the music. I get voices from other people. And the outro music is my friend Squid, who he voices Fresno as well. He's been like a longtime collaborator of mine,
Right.
Flying Squid. But yeah,
So,
I do it all.
so when you say the other voices, are you scripting the dialogue, or is it like an improv that you have with your friends?
It's scripted for the most part, or whatever. Well, like when I'm with them, I get in a call with them or whatever, and we sort of go over the script and see if how we think things could do better. Like I sort of let them change stuff, and if something happens that we think is funnier, we'll keep that in or something. But yeah, I like the sort of improvised feel, but it is scripted. A
Mhm.
lot of my stuff isn't though. I voice Limpet, and like in the beginning, I would just kind of like go or whatever. It got more and more scripted as time went on, but it's a I like to shake up the process. If I get too locked down into like scripting it, then it's a lot less fun to produce, and if it's a lot less fun to produce, it doesn't get made. Like it needs to
For
be
sure.
fun.
I find it's the same with even this because obviously we animate some of these segments. And Sophie's actually animated the last one that we did too. So it's kind of a meta episode in that regard.
But
But the best moments are the ones that aren't scripted. Like not the questions that you have prepared, but just the bullshit that comes out, in
yeah.
that's really cool though. So do you feel like the future of entertainment is DIY?
Um, I'm currently very interested in the DIY side of things. Uh, I think it would be sad for it to go fully DIY, but I do think that studios should be. I really like the Adult Swim approach, where they sort of throw a bunch of money at like small teams who are really passionate and just let them go ahead. Because I think people are able to do way more by themselves than they ever have been,
Yeah.
like with computers and everything. Like I think the current pipeline for the industry is kind of archaic and wastes a lot of money by like having each task split up into so many different like I don't know. I haven't worked in any studio, so I'm speaking out my ass, but um I certainly loved the DIY side of things and the internet and everything and what the internet enables people to do.
Do you feel like the DIY approach, like Adult Swim, is it still doing that, throwing money at the young creatives, do you feel?
Yeah, I think so. I see like small people that I'm a fan of, like Harrison and Parker, like a lot of smaller people who just, oh, they got a tiny mini series with Adult Swim. That's awesome. Or like Jack Storber, or like yeah, I think they
Yeah.
still do that. I really respect them for that. And I know MTV used to sort of do that with like Liquid Television. I'm a big
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liquid Television fan.
I was
Um,
gonna say your stuff reminds me a lot of the like MTV intros. It was the first thing
yeah,
I thought of. Yeah.
thanks.
Oh,
That
good.
means a lot. Yeah, I like that sort of 90s grungy um sort of style. It's easy
Mm.
to embrace with 3D because uh it's just kind of how it looks or whatever, right? Like if you turn up the contrast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, like, would you guys say that Jack Storber was one of the first ones to kind of get big in that regard, or was there a bunch of people before him?
Oh,
Because I feel like he's been around for a long time, a lot longer than we give him credit for. Your stuff also
Yeah.
very much gives me that kind of outsider art, you know? Also the John's kind of vibe to it, which is great.
I think he did a really great job at like commercializing it and like making it work
yeah.
for like he sort of predicted short form stuff getting big or whatever. Like it was right before TikTok. It was like 2017 or 2016 that he was blowing up. No, not fully sure. Like yeah, around then maybe, but um he definitely made that sort of outside art, like experimental animation style, something that could work with the internet. I think it was very genius the way that he did that. And I don't know if it was intentional, but I'm glad that he made it so big because uh, I think, yeah, it enabled audiences to enjoy that kind of style, maybe.
For sure. And I mean, you see non-linear kind of like storylines happen a lot in movies. Like I was thinking there's a scene in, I think it's episode 2, where the narrative just jumps out and it becomes about the fish
Yeah.
skateboarding, and it doesn't go for like 1 second or 2 seconds, but it's like the rest of the episode. You just sit there and watch this musical basically that you've produced. I don't know if you've seen Bad Lieutenant 2 with Nicolas Cage, but there's a moment that's very similar, not with skateboarding fish, but with like a lizard basically, where just in the middle of it, it just cuts to the POV of a lizard, and you're just there.
Awesome.
So you see it in movies, especially art house movies, but it's great that you can start to see it in animation, right? I feel like maybe with budget in animation, there would have been constraints in the past to be like, no, you can't just meander,
Yeah.
want. But with your stuff, it's really quite great because it does exactly just that. Are you somebody who prefers non-linear narratives to a straightforward kind of structure?
I think so. Yeah. I like a non-linear narrative, and I like making it non-linearly because it's like I can just sort of focus on what interests me. It's like I that kind of came about pretty organically. I was like, I made these fish 3D models, but they're kind of under the water. It's hard to see them. Let's show them off in the funnest way possible. Um, and that was very inspired by like Bee and Puppy Cat, which was another web series that made it big on YouTube. But it sort of does a similar thing where it's like that kind of ADHD, just like exploring a train of thought, like what's going on there? Let's dive straight into that and get really into it. And
The
yeah, Bee and Puppy Cat does that.
the
And I like
pacing of
that.
your humor is like very simple. Like it's done so well, and it reminds me of
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What's the process for actually scripting an episode? If you had to look at it like an actual script, is it like, the characters are chatting, there's normal dialogue, and then suddenly you write, like the camera zooms to skateboarding fish? Is that how it
Yeah, pretty
goes?
much. Pretty much. But it's also, I think each episode was sort of made with a different process. So like I do it, I have it all in a Google Doc. And I mean, episode 1 was sort of written in my diary or whatever. Like a lot of the beginning plot, like up to where the CEO bands music, that was like written by hand like 2 years ago in my diary just for fun. Um, uh, so it's very all over the place. I don't like to get locked into a process because the second I do that, it gets a lot less fun. It's kind of the thing I'm facing right now. It's like, how do I shake it up from here?
Mm.
Um,
Really? Do you find that it can even with your stuff, which is so mixed media? I mean, there's moments where I can't tell. I honestly can't tell what is what. Like if it's 2D, 3D, or 4D, right? Like you've got puppets and shit too, right? I swear to
yeah,
God,
yeah.
yeah.
I
Do
want
you
to do that
ever
more,
do you
more
ever
physical
do?
stuff.
I feel like there's a lot of techniques, and I mean, Sophie would know more about this than I do. But do you feel like there's sometimes times where you've created a technique with animation that you haven't seen before? Like, have you
uh,
pioneered any techniques? It's so sporadic that I feel like you're bound to create
Yeah,
something.
I don't think there's like a single like medium that you don't have in there. Like
Yeah,
you have everything.
even when
I
you
want to do
were
more stop motion for sure.
like
There's
Yeah.
not
when you
much stop motion,
because
but
you animated like glitch effects that start in 2D, but you actually turn them 3D, right? As well in one of those scenes. Like I
I
couldn't
think
even wrap my
so.
head around that, like how that's even possible. What's your art background?
Um, this or whatever. I've just been doing this for a bit. Like I'm have sort of been yeah. I mean, like I'm still in finishing up high school or whatever. I'm 18, so I haven't studied
Holy
anywhere.
shit. You're
Um,
18. Fuck.
yeah, it's just like spending a lot of time at the computer as a kid and like on the internet consuming. Like I grew up on all this shit.
Yeah, you're still growing
And
up.
yeah, yeah.
You've cracked the code to your own style, and you're still in school. You haven't even gone
I
to
mean, yeah, I'm living with my parents, and the idea is that like I really want to take advantage of this time that I'm with them. Like I don't got to worry about rent.
uni.
I just want to like make my own show. Like with it, like I'm really buckling down on it.
Yeah.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
Yeah.
I respect the hustle. That's awesome though. So what do you reckon you'll do after school then?
Um, That's a loaded question. Can I miss that?
Yeah, but yeah, you can miss it. Are you year 12 or year 11 when you say high school? Like, are you final year?
Year 12 or whatever. I technically took a little longer. I'm actually doing it online, so I have a lot of time
Right.
at home. Basically, like all of my days are spent at the computer, and then I get to hang out with friends on the weekends. It's really great system for
So,
me.
so your mates are like tuning into your show basically as well. They've got all the time in the world to watch your stuff, right? Are they your like your fans as well? Your
My
classmates?
like friends.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I guess like a lot of my friends watch my stuff. I mean, like a lot of the people who work on the stuff currently, they're all international or whatever. Like Flying Squid is in America, and the guy who voices Paul is in Berlin. So like it's very international, and I'm in South Africa.
You met them online, or how'd you find?
Yeah, yeah. I met Squid and I. We actually met because I used to do videos when I was young or whatever, and we met through that. We were like both Jack Stauber fans or like Joni Peppers fans. I forget which one it was, but we've been collaborating since like I was 13 or whatever. He's like been a long
Easy.
time
That's fun.
friend of mine, and he's super talented. He's got like a fuck ton of albums. Um, he's like really talented musician. Uh, and yeah, I mean, I collaborated on a series of films with my local friends Leo and Jethro called "The Ghost of Winter Cape" and Jethro's Mirage. That's like a trio of films where we did it sort of Tim and Eric style, where we're in front of a green screen and the whole background is animated.
Yeah,
And that yeah, there was like a feature film that took 2 years to animate. And that
it's full length too. Like
yeah, it's an hour and 17 minutes. So it took a long time, and I did all the animation. Leo did some of the music.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was just I had a lot of free time in high school or whatever. Like um it's just really what I enjoy doing. And yeah, I mean, I felt pretty burnt out after that, and Popocalypse was originally going to be a movie in the same format, but I got tired of like going offline for ages and then like being met with not that many views in the end because the internet favors like quantity over quality. So when I got like 2 or 3 minutes done of the Popocalypse movie, I was like, oh no, this is just episode one. Like throw it out there, it's done. And I'm glad I did that because it's meant that it can reach a lot more people, which is also a goal of
Yeah.
Apocalypse, to reach a lot of people, specifically like kids. I aim it at like the demographic for me is like 12 to 19 or whatever. And like queer kids and stuff. It's a love letter, and I don't know.
yeah,
That's awesome. I mean, it's cool as well that because it's not a movie, you can continually refine your craft, right? And take time to
Yeah,
reflect on what you're doing.
yeah, exactly. And sort of shape it to how the audience wants or whatever. Like that character from episode 2, the bug lady, she was just going to be a one-off, but people love her so much. I'll probably bring her back at some point.
Are any of these characters based on real people that you meet in Cape Town?
um, I guess kind of. I don't know. I think a lot of them are sort of based off of myself. Fresno is based off of my cat. Wait, like just his design. One sec. Like
Pull it up.
goose.
Oh my god.
That's awesome.
I've noticed that Fresno just more and more looks like goose. They're like yellow and
Yeah, I can see it.
he likes to sleep on top of like my computer tower. Um yeah, I don't know how based off of like Cape Townian people it is. I need to get out more is the thing. I don't go out all that much. So I'm mostly interacting with people online. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Have you traveled much outside of Cape Town?
I have, yeah. I was actually in the US a little bit, like 2 months ago or whatever. I visited Chicago, which is really great. There's a great animation scene in Chicago there that I got to see, and I got to like meet a lot of my favorite people. I met Joni Peppers, which was insane. I don't know if you know her. She's really cool sort of animator who's a huge inspiration to me. Studied at Cal Arts.
Cool.
Has like a collection of films under her belt. She used to go by Joni Phillips. I don't know. She did like a film with Frederator as well.
When you said Frederator, it reminded me of like, is that like Cat Dog and all that shit? Are we talking like back like Nickelodeon? Was that?
Frederator was like they sort of were involved with Adventure Time or something, so it was a little later, sort of Cartoon Network stuff. But they had a thing that they ran in the 2010s where they wanted to just make a bunch of cartoons for the internet for YouTube with a TV budget and see if that would like work, if that would work out, because like YouTube was pretty new or whatever. So they made like Bravest Warriors and a ton of like short shows and like episodes with like TV budget, TV pipeline, put it on YouTube. They're like defunct now because that's not sustainable. It was an experiment that they made with like Warner money or something. But it's what gave us stuff like Being Puppy Cat. And I think seeing that at such a young age sort of was very inspiring because it's like, oh, you can get TV animation on YouTube. This is crazy. And it set the expectation really high. Like now I'm looking at the industry and nothing's getting made, seemingly nothing. Like, I don't know. When I was growing up, like Adventure Time and stuff was coming about, and now there's no shows that are as interesting to me. So it sort of set the expectation a little high, and we're in a bit of a dip right now, seemingly. So it's,
That's interesting to hear about because, yeah, I guess I exist as a non-animator, and I mean, I don't consume as much animation as I used to. I spend half of my time being animated, living in animated form at this point. But yeah, it's interesting. Like your equivalent of like your indie sleaze would have been like Adventure Time and
yeah.
all that shit. And then obviously that's not like it is still running, right? Like there's spin-offs and shit, I'm sure. But
yeah, there's still actually I shouldn't actually say anything. But yeah,
really?
Adventure Adventure Time. Yeah, it's exciting that it's still running, and like Steven Universe is getting a spin-off. I love that sort of the cartoon renaissance is what people called it. I'm a huge
2010s, right? 2010s to like
2010s cartoons.
Like, I see a lot of Amazing World of Gumball actually in what you do. I would say your stuff is a lot darker, whether you intend it to be or not. It's a lot. There's something very uneasy and quite nightmarish about
yeah.
Gumball walks so you can run.
Yeah. The first thing I ever saw of yours was a few weeks ago, and why I reached out immediately was you were talking about. I think did you cross-reference what they used to do in Cartoon Network when they used to do the mixed media stuff with like the Subway? Is that one of your videos?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. The sort of Subway Cartoon Network. I like a lot of old bumpers. I have friends that sort of archive that stuff on YouTube and like scan VHSs. So I've been very interested in toon history.
I was curious as to like, yeah, how you were accessing these like older cartoons because back in the day we did have cartoonnetwork.com. I think you could watch shit like that, but you could also watch it on your TV. But a lot of the stuff that you're kind of like making parallels to hasn't been on the telly for a while, right? Is there mixed media cartoons happening right now?
I don't know. I mean, I don't have who has cable anymore or whatever you call it. We call it DSTV. Like I got Netflix. Love Death Robots is awesome. There are some sort of anthology shows that are sort of highlighting smaller artists. Or smaller studios, I should say. Yeah, I don't know. Even just from a young age, I would watch a lot of stuff online. It's sort of just like been something that's interested me forever. I mean, Courage the Cowardly Dog is another very early like influence.
Yeah.
But because I'm from South, like I love the mixed media aspect of that. And I think maybe like air dates were a little different with South Africa. They sort of like kept airing stuff way later or stopped. There were certain shows that never reached here.
Yeah. It's the same here.
Flapjack was another one. I love Flapjack. Where are you, by the way?
We're both in Melbourne.
Melbourne. Awesome.
Australia.
Australia.
But yeah, because I remember the same thing. Like my mates in the US would have already been on like season 5 or whatever the fuck. And we would be on season 1, or maybe we just get the pilot. I never understood how that shit worked before streaming happens.
Like, yeah. It was annoying that I actually like started pirating shit from a really young age. I think that's like it's sort of because I wanted to see new episodes of Adventure Time or whatever. They never came. Or like I remember like I pirated the entirety of some like Lego show called like Legends of Chima at like which no one else watched. It was some like Ninjago like wannabe. But I like watched all of that online at like the age of like 7. I must have been. So like I guess we had a family Mac. And I like figured out how to do it, I guess. So
I remember pirating it on like I think it was like Kiss Cartoon or something. I don't know if it's still out, but like watching like Adventure Time episode that wasn't out yet, but it was just like fully pixelated.
Yeah, yeah. The buffering, and that was a terrible thing. Like, yeah, I remember getting so frustrated. I will say it's like for like streaming stuff online, like piracy sites, it's way easier to find good cartoon stuff without like ads than it is for like live action shows. I find it's so easy to like stream. But I think animation is too like time consuming and expensive for there to be like a lot of secret black market animation. Like I think they'd rather just show it to everyone.
The one good thing about people not caring that much about cartoons is they do it about live action. So we can
we can just watch this shit. Yeah. I actually also I like download all these shows for my girlfriend who stays in Germany. She moved recently, and it's really hard to pirate stuff there. It's like really illegal. So I put it all on a Google Drive. That whatever she wants. And
when I went to Frankfurt, I tried to. I think Arcane season 2 was coming out at that time, and I went on like should I be saying this? I went on like the website.
I know this is like taken.
I'm sure you can say this.
It came up with all this like stuff in German saying like, I'm gonna be arrested and shit.
Yeah,
like there's all these like German piracy like warning things coming up, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
doing that. How are you
in Germany? I didn't hear a damn thing about any of that. I mean, I was pirating shit myself. I had other things to do, but like, oh, damn. I guess the outlawing of pop music. I mean, that's the name, right? Pop-apocalypse.
Yeah, Pop-apocalypse.
Pop-apocalypse. Yeah. Was that event inspired by anything in particular? Anything in the real world that got outlawed for you?
Nothing for me, but it was very sort of, a lot of my future is I'm like considering moving to the US or whatever, because that's where a lot of animation stuff is happening. And the show is very transgender in themes or whatever. And you can sort of, it's pretty on the nose. And that's why, I mean, like I'm aiming it to sort of younger trans audiences or whatever. It's sort of showing the individual stress that it can cause to hear that this way of life, how just sort of the fear or whatever, like, it's sort of, it's allegorical and stuff for, I don't know.
Even the CEO of music, like we can't say his name anymore because then we can't go to the US. But
exactly.
There's a very particular vibe that's coming through with that character, even the cadence of the way that speaks.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of, he's a bit of a jumble of things or whatever. I definitely wanted, one thing was for him to give no real like apparent reason beyond like I hate it, it's stupid. Like I sort of like that kind of horror of like a figure sort of not giving a proper reason for why something is wrong or whatever. Like there's sort of a parental aspect to that. I don't know, but like it's all pretty clear, I guess. And I mean, like the fact that he was originally going to be called the president, actually, or whatever, like in the original script, it's president. But like I said, it was written 2 years ago, that part. So like I knew that I wanted it to be like an apocalypse film where pop music was banned. And it, like when I actually got around to like making that, it just felt way too on the nose and like way too scary. So I'm trying to keep it as light as possible. I want to get lighter from where I'm at because it got a little dark. But
I do think it's awesome though that and I'm sure this is the intended effect too, that like a show that has so many cool elements of like indie and outsider art and Indian outside of music, the characters themselves are so scared of pop music being taken away. Like, people aren't listening to the most underground shit. And they're just really distraught about Taylor Swift. Is there reason that you intended this effect, or is it just how it is?
It was sort of unintended, I guess. I don't know. To me, I think of the music I make as pop music or whatever. I don't listen to a lot of music these days, honestly. I need to listen to more. But it is just sort of, I thought it was sort of funny and campy to have it be like, part of pop music's appeal is that it's kind of it's a super vague term. Like what pop music is kind of changes depending on the decade. Like Elvis was pop or whatever. And like if you showed an alien like an Elvis song and a new pop song, they would not think it's the same genre. And that's sort of, it wasn't intentional, but it does sort of speak to the fact that, like, you know, being gender non-conforming or queer is also very vague or whatever, and banning this stuff hurts everyone. It hurts all the genres of person. And that was unintentional, but it is sort of funny, and part of it, yeah, but it's a funny result of the fact that I like what you said.
No, it's really what drew me to the show. Just the irony, the sheer irony of these. They're freaking out. You know what I mean? Like, it's their world being shattered by this Trumpian president. It's super
you said it, not me.
No, I said it in another reel as well, which Sofie animated that reel as well. So I figured we already said it.
Yeah.
Do you have a way where you engage with your fan base and you allow them aspects of the world building? Like, do you have a sort of platform where you kind of go back and forth with them? Yeah.
I do have a Discord server that I speak with people on. There's a lot of cool people on there. But these days, it's more so my close friends that I kind of speak with. I'll like proofread stuff with them, or current episode, I'm sort of wanting to get the script a little tighter. So I have some plans to proofread that with some friends. For the most part, I sort of do like the people watching it to, like, you know, they all comment on YouTube, but that's sort of the most direct way that people will interact with it. And I love all the comments. I get some really great comments these days. It's great.
That's cool, actually. Do you feel like you're trying to transition the Instagram platform to the YouTube?
Yeah, I realize that, like, reels, you can sort of blow up on there pretty easy. If you just sort of, I have a ton of content that's just sort of waiting to be turned into clips and stuff, and waiting to like show. So I started doing the reels and they took off a ton, but I've kind of been taking a break recently because it's like the quality of comments that you get on there is so much like it. I was so used to everyone being like a diehard Beau Jumpupper, and now it's like everyone commenting the same thing who, like, they don't know anything about experimental animation. They're commenting this stuff, and I appreciate any comment. The amount of stuff that's just said about me and my voice and my physicality, it gets exhausting. And
yeah, I have noticed with like people that we've had on the show, like some of them have experimented with people who are really good at virality, you know, like they have a real talent for going viral. I don't have that talent. I couldn't make anything go viral no matter what it was. But there's people who just have a knack for it. And some people like make accounts just for the shits and gigs, and then that account will end up blowing up, and they'll end up shutting the account down, like because they're sick of because at a certain point you are getting so much engagement, but it just depends where you channel that energy. Because a lot of the time, like the quantity of those comments doesn't really interest you as much anymore. Like you might shut yourself off to it.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, I will do that more. Having a high follower account is also just really good for, like, I've gotten some great commissions from it. It's like it is good, and people sort of respect me more. It's like, oh, you're really doing something if you've got this many eyes on it. But I do care a lot more about YouTube subscribers, and it's so difficult to get people to leave the Instagram app for YouTube. But I hit 10K, and that's been like a dream for years and years. So like on YouTube, I've got like 75K on Instagram. Which is also insane, and I appreciate all of them. It's nice to know that I have that sort of platform and power. I'm just waiting to use it, I guess.
So speaking about your commission, like the commissions that you've been given, are they commissions where you're able to kind of keep the essence of what makes you great in them? Do they allow you to be quite freeform, or do you have to conform to different parameters?
Currently, I mean, I've mostly just been accepting the more freeform ones or whatever. It's a lot of musicians reaching out for music videos. But for the most part, I get a lot of freedom. It's mainly just like people give a lot of freedom. And I have a Patreon now, which is great. And it sort of enables me to work more on stuff that isn't commissions. Because it's like, I have like an excuse in my head. It's like, okay, they're paying to see the show. They want to see that. So I'm able to allocate more time to that. But I got to get better at like figuring out how to mentally place making a commission, because right now it's the most like grueling thing ever. I don't have a ton of experience with it, but it's like, even if I'm doing stuff that's interesting and fun, just the idea that it's not for me, it's for them, it's like, it kind of ruins it. And that's something I got to figure out how to like change in my head if I want to be able to make money off of this thing.
Yeah, that's interesting because in many ways you are kind of like an animation magician, There's things that, going back to it, there's things that you're doing that I've, never seen before. It reminds me, this might be a pretty big parallel or whatever, but I don't know if you watched movies by Wong Kar-wai. He has a cinematographer that's, I think, Australian who has methods with film that nobody else knows how he did it. The guy was drunk apparently the majority of the time that he shot these movies. So even he doesn't know his own secrets. But my point is, there's things that he can do with the medium, and when you said that you're doing music videos, I feel like it would be so much fun for like me being in a band as well to be like, oh, make a music video because you could literally do anything, right? Like if
Mm,
you had
mm.
creative control, you could literally do whatever type of music video, anything that the person even thinks of, you could create. Even I don't know if you've experimented with like 3D body scans of people and stuff like that in your animation. I noticed when I went to the Netherlands, there was a few people who were trying to scan me so that we could use my own body as a ragdoll in my own video.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish I'd
I
done
do
it.
want to do that more. 3D body scans. I've like 3D modeled me and my friends before, just like really sloppily from photos.
That stuff is
Yeah.
great. That stuff is so good for music videos, especially
Mm,
Instagram Reels. Just having a
yeah,
version of yourself walking around is
that's
gold.
true. I should probably like there's just rotting in a hard drive because I used them for like the film, the Ghost of Winter Cape movie. But I haven't really used them since. It was like us sitting on a motorbike. And I thought about modding it into like Mario Kart to like play when people came over because I thought that would be really funny. But then I realized I could be spending my time more wisely than making a Mario Kart mod.
Wait, so you're talking about playing with your
That's
friends
wise.
in Mario Kart?
Yeah, like I've been really into like emulation and modding, but I've never made any mods or whatever. It's just sort of a fun sort of side hobby. And we play a lot of Mario Kart when people come over. I'm really into Mario Kart Wii. Um,
Not the new one, the Mario
I
Kart One.
want to play the new one. I don't have the Switch too. I don't have a Switch. I emulated or like play it on my Wii U. Um,
Right.
Part of why I'm doing commissions is actually saving up for the Switch too.
Get a Switch,
Um,
surely somebody give you a Switch, right? Like put it on your
I mean,
story. Ask for a Switch too. They're gonna give it to you.
I don't want to be given a Switch too.
Want to earn
I
a
do.
Switch
I'm
too. I
a like,
understand.
yeah. It's so expensive. It's like it actually costs $200 more if I get it here. So like, I want to figure
Really?
out if I can like somehow get it in the US, but it's sold out everywhere. So I don't know. It's probably better for me not to have it because like if I get really into games, I don't get anything done. Like I'd rather just play Mario
I'm the
than
same, yeah.
yeah,
I've like banned myself from playing games.
yeah, yeah.
Are you a
Um,
big gamer? Like what games do you like besides Mario Kart?
Mostly just Nintendo stuff. I'm not a huge gamer. I love Deltarune. I just played the recent Deltarune. It's like an Undertale game.
Right.
Undertale and Deltarune are huge inspirations to my work as well. It's from that same sort of like Steven Universe Tumblr 2016 era or
Yeah.
whatever. Similar vibes. I don't know. I love worlds where like anything goes. Like world like a world with like that has like ghosts and aliens and zombies and just like any trope put it all into one, like Adventure Time or Moomin has like everything. I'm a big fan of that kind of storytelling just because it's like maximalist or whatever. I mean, even just like genres like sci-fi or fantasy, those are so like narrow or whatever. Like fantasy, you're gonna get okay, see a world that has wizards and elves and knights. So I've seen that a billion times. Like I kind of like when you mix stuff
Mm,
and you end up with stuff that has like future stuff and past stuff. It's just, and I try to do that with Popocalypse.
for
Just
sure.
kind of everything,
Yeah, I
put
wouldn't
it
say
all
it's a
in.
particular genre. It's more of the closest thing I can think of is that it's like a hangout movie. It's more similar
Yeah.
to fucking Dazed and Confused than it is your average TV show with a particular genre. It's great. I think that's I don't know if you watch many hangout movies, but I'm a big fan of just like watching characters be themselves and just all sorts
I
of
didn't know that that was a genre, but I do really like that kind of
yeah. I
thing.
think it is a legitimate, or at least it's a subgenre, like a movie where like
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is also like a hangout movie.
Mm.
No
Yeah.
like inherent plot per se. Like there is a plot, a broader kind of thing, but mostly just watching people talk and kick it and stuff like that, which is really
I
cool.
love that kind of stuff. Yeah. Like I've been reading a lot of Meg N Mogg recently from an Tasmanian author called Simon Hanselman, and it's a comic series about just this cat and this witch that get high and like their roommate.
Meg N Mogg.
Meg N Mogg, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Shit rocks.
Yes.
I bought a copy, but I lent it to my friend because I was like, I gotta share this. It's so good. And yeah, I do like just sort of characters being themselves. I love Clarence for that same reason, because it's just kids being kids. That's another show that is very Fresno and Paul in particular. I sort of want to capture that like dumb, boyish, just shooting the shit vibe.
And your script feels so like natural. Like the conversations feels like, I don't know how to describe it. Like they feel like real conversations, you know. Like,
yeah, it feels like improv. It feels like like somebody rambling. The fact that you're able to make it seem that way, but you're actually scripting it with your friends is also very impressive.
It's usually like a really hard thing to get right.
I guess that's a testament to their voice acting skills or whatever. I mean, like, yeah, I love Squid and Lennox or Movie Maximum. Movie Maximum is also a shout out. He's a German animator who does a lot of 3D stuff. It's like studio quality type of thing. He's made a ton of short films.
Was it the music or the animation that you got into first?
Animation, definitely. Whatever. I got into animation through like Scratch, children's programming language. At like 10 years old. I just sort of kept doing that, but I try to keep true to my roots. I use Scratch still every now and again. I use a lot of MS Paint. I like just very fast software, fast to open, fast to save an image and get out. Like I switch between software a ton. Like my taskbar is full of different softwares.
And then you're also on Blender, which is like perfect for that as well.
Yeah, exactly. I love Blender. It, like just I'm not a fan of software that like takes forever to open and close. That's why I don't fuck with Adobe and stuff. I'm so glad that like I missed the Adobe sort of like sweep or whatever, like just by a couple of years. Like they didn't catch me, they didn't hold me down, because everyone now is so dependent on Adobe because like it's what they learned. But I didn't fall into that pit, and now I will only have to interface with Adobe products if I go to a studio that makes them mandatory. But I'm hoping that's not the case because it's archaic, frankly.
So what are you producing on for music? How are you making your beats?
FL Studio. Yeah, I like FL. It's pretty janky or whatever. If I could go back in time, I would switch to Ableton or whatever. But you and all of the Ableton people always say that.
I mean, I've used Ableton since I was 10 and I'm 20.
Yeah.
But no, look, if it works for you, it works for you, because it is ultimately like, I feel like the DAW that you use does affect your music. It affects your way of creating. Like if you try to make
completely
on FL, it's going to sound completely different to a beat on Ableton.
I agree. That's another thing. It's like the process completely changes the final product, like all the time, every time. And I learned about that through music, because I think that's more common in music. Like people talk about that, but in animation, people don't talk about that all that much, the way the process actually affects the final thing and the software that you use. And I really like to embrace the artifacts of whatever software I use. Like FL Studio, I'll use default. FL Studio comes with a lot of default sounds, which are great and sort of cheap sounding. So I try to embrace those. And it's also great for sound fonts, which I use a lot. It feels like to do anything in FL Studio, you need to like click 5 times in different places. Like you want to record, you have to like route a billion things.
So Gabby, who does the covers for this show, who's not here, I should do a show with Gabby as well. That'd be fucking sick. But Gabby does a lot of the animation as well, and she uses like an Adobe Photoshop like 1997. I don't know if this is like lore that I've invented or have been saying it so long that I believe it to be true. But yeah, it's like I think it's like an outdated, near like Kid Pix era Photoshop. Trying to get the Kid Pix guy on this show as well.
Really. I was actually using Kid Pix earlier. I love
Kid
Pix.
Like I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. Tux Paint and Kid Pix. The guy who did do you know Tux Paint? It's like it's the like Linux version of MS Paint, kind of. That was like software that I used in like school when I was like 7. But the person, Bill Kendrick, who develops it is really cool and still very online, and has like a sort of website dedicated to like making a gallery for all the people that use Tux Paint.
Really?
Yeah, he's a very cool guy. So honestly, if you're gonna have people, he was actually the first person that ever interviewed me, because I sort of few years ago was pretty into the tux paint stuff. In like 2022.
I never went into animation myself, but I've definitely been inspired by Pivot, you know, like if you remember Pivot back in the day. Do you guys ever do that shit with the stick characters and you could like
you mean like
them bit by bit?
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Like that.
I never used it, but I get the vibe.
Yeah, maybe everybody who used Pivot didn't actually become an animator.
No, I'm sure it happened.
The wrong place to start. I mean, Flash, right? Like Flash animations is just another one as well. I feel like the impact that Adobe Flash had on animation styles for the next 10 years was massive. Even if it's done on Flash, just that look. I guess like his Big Les, right? That's a Flash one, right?
I think Big Les is MS Paint.
MS Paint. True.
MS Paint.
Yeah. And a mouse.
Yeah, I love that. I use I got a really nice like graphics tablet, but I use my mouse so much of the time because it's like it feels good or whatever. I feel guilty whenever I do it, but it's like it's sort of like collaborating. Like you get less control, so if it looks bad, you like don't have to worry as much. It's not as much on you. You can blame it on the mouse.
Gabby also uses a mouse on top of the Adobe Photoshop stuff. So
hell yeah.
Like sometimes the parameters, it comes up a lot on the show, the parameters that you put on yourself, the limitations really make the art happen.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Well, we've already chatted for 50 minutes. Thank you for the last 50 minutes. It's been awesome. The only other thing that I personally want to ask you is, do you have any words of wisdom for other 18-year-olds plus in the world? What words of advice do you have for up and coming creatives, even though you are an up and coming creative yourself?
Yeah. People ask me that. Words of wisdom, I guess. Don't be a perfectionist about stuff. Like okay, like right now the internet really values quantity over quality. And I think instead of like letting that defeat you and go like, oh, I wish I could make the perfect thing and have everyone like it, I think it's good to sort of embrace that and see it as like a school assignment where it's like, okay, if the assignment currently in our current day and age is to make a ton of shit, do that or whatever. Like that's a positive thing because it's also good for improvement to just make a ton of shit and not care as much about it. Like that's a thing that's good, like to rather than locking yourself into one project. So make a ton of stuff and post it as soon as possible. Don't be a perfectionist about it. And stuff that makes your work special or whatever will just sort of come to you as you do it. You don't need to like embrace, like really look. You don't have to like try and force it. Just sort of try like copy someone else for a bit and see what comes from that. I've copied. I don't know. Find a community of people that will encourage you and encourage them. Make sure to encourage them. Collaborate. I guess that's it.
That's a lot of wisdom. That's like 3 different parts of wisdom. You gave us a lot of bang for our buck. That's really cool. I do really like that though, that you should just put something out when you made it. I think it's pretty underrated advice, and a lot of people do lose energy when they've been on something for such a long period of time and they don't want to release it at the end because they've spent time with it. It's really hard to part with it. So I would also
just like, you know, one thing that's really motivating to learn something is actually like having a win under your belt. Like it's a lot, like the sooner you can get to like having a product that you like, or at least consider like a success, the like better you feel and the faster you can learn something. So set the goals really small in the beginning or whatever, so that you can get to that first win as soon as possible. Because if you're working forever without getting a win, you're never gonna like I don't know, like it. I don't know how other people learn, but I need those wins. I need
once you do that and then you get onto the next thing, like you feel like you can actually make that next thing. Like I feel like in the process of it, before you made that win, it feels like, I don't know how to describe it. It feels like you can't do it until you've done it, and then it just makes it easier to get on to the next thing.
You just like know or whatever, you're more confident. I agree. And whatever you do not make like an 11-minute pilot. Like so like you're on the, like so many people want to do that, but you're on the internet take advantage of that. Like, we're not studios. Embrace, like, 11-minute pilots exist because that's what like television is built around. It's like half of 22 minutes, but embrace the freedom that you have. Make something shorter. You're one person. Like, you will not finish the 11-minute pilot. You'll get disheartened and you'll work on it for a year. Don't ask me how I know. I've had failed stuff in the past that I tried to make really early on.
Taking advantage of people's short attention spans.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It's like we live in a reel economy now. Make some reels. That's like, you'll get the followers up or something. Don't listen to what people say, because Instagram, like, the current culture on Instagram is dog shit. It's like,
it's kind of becoming like Facebook, like
or like even 4chan or some shit. Like, the amount of edge on there, like, my generation or whatever, I'm so embarrassed, like, the way that people speak and like the things they think is okay to say. It's like we're in a bit of an edginess, like, resurgence, it feels like. But
it's definitely like, it feels like Facebook 2010, or like at least maybe not 2010, but at least 5 years ago. For sure. Yeah, I've never thought about edge, but it's it can get pretty fucking putrid. But I think you are right as well in that regard. Like, even with this show, like, it was my dream, and it still is my dream, to have somehow, I don't know how I'd justify it, because turning a straight 11 minutes of this show into a animated show could be interesting to watch, but it doesn't have all the best bits in it. But I've always wanted to do like a bigger, longer, kind of thing, even widescreen reels, which Sophie's done, versus like, just the straight vertical kind of format, which is, I guess, a little bit easier to make because it's animating less stuff. But I guess at the start, like when you're starting out, and I guess this party as well is still relatively new.
And also find smaller creators to be inspired by. Don't base yourself off of big shows. Don't try to make Arcane. Look at, like, I don't know, Harrison and Parker. There's a lot of cool small people online that are doing really achievable things. Look to Adult Swim. Look at small people on Instagram. Sorry, I'm rambling.
But I feel like we're this age for animation where, like, it's like this age of imperfectionism. The thing, like, that's what.
Well, all the studios want the exact opposite. They're all doing like the rigged stuff. It's like you look at, everyone's complaining about the new King of the Hill show because it looks terrible, and it's because it's so afraid of the imperfections and whatever. It's like, I mean, it's also cheaper to make, but I'm really hoping that we can get out of this slump that we're in currently, seemingly, with the like bigger. It just seems like all the more interesting stuff is coming up out of the internet and smaller artists, and I'm hoping that those artists can get bigger budgets to do what they want to do.
I mean, even with music, a lot of what people like about music and garage rock and indie rock is the imperfection,
Yes.
Because it's the humanity, right? Because none of us is perfect, and celebrating that through art is so endearing. And I guess it is the same with animation, though I haven't heard anyone mention it before. It's true. Like, when you watch a lot of online animations, especially Adult Swim, it's just super not perfect in any way, but nobody really cares, because it's about the experience and it's about the expression. The expression comes first. So cool.
Well, thank y'all so much for having me on.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you, Sophie, as well. And
thank you, Sophie.
Enjoy the rest of your night.